Okay, so actually, PFMCP is a vehicle for the DBM to actually relay the reforms and other programs of the department. So this has been instrumental in delivering to the practitioners, PFM practitioners in the government, what are the latest. Actually, PFMCP is not only about budgeting. It's a holistic approach on public financial management. So actually, there are 6 technical areas of the PFM. So that's accounting, budgeting, planning, cash management, auditing, and procurement. So these tracks are actually developed under the curriculum of the PFMCP. And as mentioned, it has been a vehicle for us to teach or to relay to the PFM practitioners of what's latest about these areas of the PFM. Ano pa nga ba yung other question? Sorry, other question? Another question?
So while you were in Australia, so what drove you to really parang focus on PFM as something that you will do when you go back?
Okay. So actually, throughout my university during my time at the university, talagang top of mind ko is PFMCP. When I go back, I was really thinking how to improve the program. What can I get from the university or my Australian education to improve PFMCP? Because I understand that the delivery mode that we are doing during that time is not enough so that we'll be able to reach the total training population of the PFM practitioners. Currently, we have more than 24,000 to cover. And we have not yet reached the peak of the critical mass for the training population. And I think through the improvement of the PFMCP now, one step at a time, we're able to cover the whole of the population. Like for example, during the time prior pandemic, we are running the program face-to-face. And when the pandemic came, we were really, not prepared. But because of the e-learning or the online learning that I was exposed during the time that I was in the university, we were able to actually handle that challenge of implementing the program continuously, even if the pandemic has struck in 2020. And actually, in fact, it increased the engagement of the participants because, there was enough time for them to learn. So we capitalized on that opportunity that this would be the best time for us to reach out for those PFM practitioners or government employees who wanted to learn more about their task as PFM practitioners. So we were able to develop the online learning for PFMCP immediately. And that's based actually on what I was exposed from the university. Kasi hindi pa uso ang e-learning. We are doing already e-learning in Australia. And the platform that we were using actually exposed me na pwede pala yun, matuto or mag-train using the online platform. So I think that's one realization that I was able to get from my postgrad. Okay. Okay.
How about some short courses? Nag-join ka ba ng mga?
Yes. Oo, kasi one of the short courses that I was able to pero sige, papaayos muna.
Tapos pwede mo sabihin an Australia Award short course.
Okay, sige.
Additional question.
Sige, pero meron naman. Pwede mo. Go.
Okay.
Okay.
So, or can we jump to the recall?
Yung short course.
Sure.
Sige, I'll mention about it. So after my postgrad, I actually attended several short courses under the Australia Award Scholarship Program. And specifically, I was able to attend the Business Process Management course. Actually, there were 2 courses. First was the BPMN for the users. And after that, I was actually chosen to be a trainer for the BPMN. So I actually coached or mentored a group of BPMN users from the DBM. So that course actually helped me to enhance the process of the PFMCP. So we were able to identify ano ba yung mga nagko-cause ng bottlenecks, ano ba yung repetition, ano ba yung wastage doon sa process namin, what needed to be eliminated, what needed to be continued, what needed to be reviewed. So these are actually my takeaways during the PPMN course, and that happened during the pandemic. And I was really surprised because after taking the first BPMN, I was called to do the training of trainers for BPMN. So it was a good experience, actually. And aside from that, I'm attending some other programs of the alumni, AAAEP.
Australia Awards.
Okay, of the Australia Award Scholarship Program. And that made me realize na marami pang kailangan matutunan. So one of the programs or one of the sessions that I was able to attend is the Open Space Technology Program. I think that was way back in 2019. So that's actually a tool that I was able to learn from one of the sessions of the alumni program. And I was able to apply it actually in the conduct of the PFMCP and other PFM training in the DBM.
So if we're gonna like summarize, what's the biggest impact of your participation in Australia Awards short courses? How did it impacted the work that you're doing?
Well, it has really a great impact because it actually.
Sorry, can you
Kasama
elaborate
yung
on this?
Australia.
The short courses.
Okay, all right. All right. The short courses of the Australia Award Scholarship Program actually help us improve our processes here in the PFMCP, and actually not only in the PFMCP but other processes that we are doing in the division. So it improved a lot the service level agreement. It actually improved our service delivery, and actually it hastens the process. So we were able to eliminate the wastage in the process, and I think that's a big help because we are being more efficient in our task. Yan. Yeah, yung pandemic yun eh, QUT, si Gerald ng ARTA yung teacher ko. Nakabatch ko. Ay, sorry. Oo, kabatch ko siya. Sorry. I know. Oo, sorry.
Ano ba nagigising ako?
Okay, so now we're gonna dive deeper naman into your leap. So you can mention siguro ano ba yung first question? What is your leap? Yun naman yung
Okay.
and then what inspired you?
Can we cut?
Actually,
30 minutes
we can
kasi.
cut.
Okay,
You
sige.
can-
Nag-mentor ako ng isang
So
group
yung
eh.
leap mo dun sa sa program din?
Yeah, ang RIP ko was to mentor the group na mag-create ng isang business process, which is OPCCB.
Ayan, so
Sorry, dun lang sa leap, pag minention mo ulit siya. Although na-mention mo na kanina yung backstory, if you can repeat that lang, tapos sabihin mo lang din yung Australian government. The Australian government conducted the TNA. Kahit kung hindi mo naman sabi HRODF, okay lang. Kasi
Okay, Australian government. Okay.
okay. So, baka kailangan ng water, ganyan, kasi
Sige, okay lang.
ano wait lang yung
Ay, sorry. Sige.
Abot na lang po natin.
water ni
Abi,
nakakabit siya sa
sorry, yung black na, ay yung nakasampay doon sa chair ni Franco.
Hindi siya pwede.
Yung color purple.
Abot na lang.
Ito na. Thank you.
Or something.
Ayun, salamat.
Kasi baka mag-aano na yung throat.
Pwede naman yung patong sa table. Doon sa left side. Hindi mo makita.
Okay. Yan. Sisiw lang pala kay ano.
Bibigyan mo ng snack si Jen. May driver ka ba? Ma'am, pabigyan din yung driver ni Jen.
So, we're gonna talk about more on a deep dive on your leap.
Okay.
So, this is the leap and focus segment. So, we just like what Jen said, so we're gonna ask you what your leap is, and then a little the background or to mention that the DNA was it happened because of the history of
Okay,
the-
sure. Unahin ko muna yung RIP, then I'll go back.
Demonstrate kasi, then yun nga, parang, nung una kasi Meron, intervention siya ng HRODF, which
Yeah.
is parang kami. Kami din yun, branding lang.
Nagkataon nga eh, di ba?
May intervention.
Surprise.
May intervention kami.
Okay.
Ang name pa namin ng HRODF. So nag-conduct ng TNA. Tapos lumabas sa TNA na zero yung
Zero-based knowledge.
zero based knowledge nila on
Oh, wow.
PFM. Sabi
Yes.
So that was 2015?
2011.
2011. So parang 2015 nilaunch yung program.
Yes.
So 10 years after.
Oh,
Parang, ayun. So,
galing-galing.
noong time na yun, wala pa mga practitioners, wala pa mga gano'n. Tama ba?
Hindi pa sila identified as that. Ano pa, piecemeal pa yung mga training on the PFM practitioner. So kami yung holistic approach.
So parang ang good thing kasi is, what she did, so syempre nag-end yung program, no? Nag-end din yung intervention. Pero sa Eileen, she was able to sustain yung program because of her...
Pioneer kasi kami. Oo. Di ba may yung interview nyo
Kung
part?
wala siya, namatay na yung program.
Hindi naman.
Kasi nag-extend here.
Kahit wala na yung HRODF, na-sustain siya because of her leadership.
Oh, wag naman. Nakakahiya yun.
Okay,
Ah,
so
sige.
now let's start with what is your REAP? And can
Okay.
you give us a little background again on the connection of the HRODF and how you were able to sustain it?
Okay. So my re-entry action plan is actually expanding the pool of speakers for the Public Financial Management Competency Program. So PFMCP is actually an initiative of the DBM to capacitate the PFM practitioners in the government of the Philippines. In 2011, the Australian government actually conducted a training needs analysis among PFM practitioners in the government. And the TNA actually resulted that the PFM practitioners in the government are actually zero-based knowledge. And based on, that TNA, the PFM competency framework was actually developed alongside the curriculum of the PFM competency program. So based on that TNA, the competency framework identified 5 technical courses or 5 technical competencies under the PFM, which is specifically budgeting, planning, accounting, cash management, procurement, and auditing. So these are the focus areas of the curriculum that we developed in 2014. So based on the competency framework, we were able to develop the curriculum and we were able to develop the content of the program. And so to be able to sustain the program, we need to create a module that will actually comprise of the PFMCP. And of course, after you develop the content, the materials of the PFMCP, we identified who would be the qualified resource speaker to actually carry out and implement the program. And that's where my re-entry action plan actually began. The first batch of our resource speakers, we were able to conduct several training of trainers. What's surprising about the TOT is that we were able to engage most of our resource speakers in the program, even if the program is not yet fully developed. We started with the foundation track. Foundation track composed of 5 courses. So that's effective collaboration, PFM understanding, using data for decision making, and internal controls. So these are the program, or these are the courses wherein our resource speakers were actually trained. So we were able to sustain them for the next 5 years. The only program that we have been running is foundation track. And while we're doing that, we're developing the budgeting and performance track and the cash management track. So when we started developing the budgeting and performance track, we realized that, of course, our resource speakers should be coming from the DBM because we are the practitioners. So we identified who would be the qualified RPs or trainers from the DBM. We got participants from the different BMBs. We got participants from the different regional offices. And we were able to create a pool. But some of the resource speakers were not really able to sustain their engagement. So we realized there's a challenge there. We needed to sustain the engagement of our RPs. So what we did is we continuously conduct training of trainers wherein their essential presentation skills are developed as well as their technical skills. Alongside with that, we continuously develop or improve the curriculum that was developed way back 2014. And that actually helped sustain the program. The content of the training was updated based on the latest issuances and policies of the government of the Philippines. And again, as mentioned, it's not only about budgeting. We were also able to develop the internal audit track and the cash management track. So during the phase 1, we were able to conduct several classes of the PFMCP. We were able to engage a number of PFM practitioners in the government. After that, when the new administration came, they suggested that we do a twinning arrangement. And that was the time that we started partnering with SECs, or state universities and colleges. The main objective is actually to expand the reach of the program. And by doing that, we were able to reach the far-flung areas and the other regions in the Philippines. So we were able to partner with Mariano Marcos State University, Bicol University, West Visayas State University, and a couple of universities in Mindanao. So the purpose or the output of that is that we were able to engage PFM practitioners in the satellite offices, in the regional offices. But again, pandemic struck, and we were challenged on how to continue the program. And that's the time that we need to upgrade the skills of our resource speakers. And we actually train them on how to do online learning. And it's a different skill altogether, because conducting it face-to-face is different from conducting it online. You don't have your audience, you don't have interaction, and we have to develop that competency wherein they'll be able to still, relay the content of the training program. And that was really a challenge.
Tell us, what's the secret sauce to be able to sustain a project this big, a scope this big? What is it?
Well, I capitalize on the competency of my team. I tried to identify saan ba sila malakas. And with that, we were able to sustain the program. Meaning, for example, if my strength is actually on facilitation, the learning experience or the experiential knowledge that I have as a facilitator will have to be transferred to the pool of speakers. And that's what we did with the team. Another is lakas ng loob. Talagang, we will not be able to do this if we don't have that courage to continue, especially during the pandemic, because it's not really easy to, change the competency of an individual from, face-to-face training to online training. Believing in them, in their competency is another. If I did not trust my team, baka hindi rin namin na-sustain yung program. Because if you, I'm not sure, pero other training facility, they were not able to sustain during the pandemic. They stopped. But on our end, we found that as an opportunity to continue. And that's totoo talaga yun. We found that opportunity to continue kasi most of the people are idle, and some of them are really looking for opportunities to learn further kasi they have more time. Kasi most of us are working from home, and we're just lucky that we were provided the facility also of the DBM to continue PFMCP online.
And having said that, what drive you to move forward despite all the challenges? Kay Marin na lang.
Okay, so what drove us to continue is the feedback from our participants. They were happy that we have not stopped doing the capacity development, specifically, of course, the PFMCP. And the feedback from our pool of speakers is also one. They were happy that they were able to continue their passion of sharing their knowledge, even if on a different platform. So I think that's one thing that drove us to continue the program. And also, there are a lot of opportunities for development kasi. So aside from we are able to increase the number of resource person during the pandemic, we are also able to redesign the program from its original form way back 2014. So it's amazing that we are able to do that on our own. Parang from our stored competency, yung knowledge na natutunan ko from the university, applying it in the redesign of the program, everything has been falling into places during that time. And I think now that we're going back to the normal, or we are back to normal, we are still able to sustain the program because there's a clamor from the PFM population in the government that they still wanted to learn more about public financial management. That's not even marketing the program. We do it only through brown bag sessions. So it's only through word of mouth. So I'm happy that we are able to change one individual one at a time. So their competency are improving. As mentioned, it's not only skills and knowledge, but their behavior and attitude. Nakakainis.
Wala na yung mga tanong, ginagawa ko parang nandun naman. Siguro, how does it feel to be the captain of this ship? I know that you put the credit na parang we're a team here, but two, there needs to be parang someone who's gonna take the helm, especially during the hard times. How does it feel looking back at it now and seeing the effect of your REAP transformed into this program of this scale and scope, and then the clamor and all of this? How does it feel to be the captain of the ship?
Honest answer, editing lang. Actually, I'm really surprised on how things are going out for PFMCP. I'm not really expecting that this will be this successful. But my honest answer would be, I'm very happy that PFMCP has been sustained for the past decade. This year, we're celebrating our milestone anniversary. PFMCP is already a decade old. And as I look back on how we have started before, from 2 staff that now I have a full complement in the division, I'm really happy that the current administration is supporting the program, and not only supporting through allowing its implementation, but actually allowing us to improve further. So through their support, for example, from conducting it or implementing it through the national government agencies, now we're going to the local government units. So before, we are not really teaching the LGUs because they're a different environment altogether. But now we're able to reach out to the LGU, and we're happy that we're able to impart the knowledge that we have gained from the PFMCP. And aside from that, again, as mentioned, not only the participants, but the resource speakers. They have been our friends. They're not only our RPs, they're not only our trainers, but they have been our friends for the past decade. And I'm happy to say that there were RPs who are still present from the first time that we have conducted the program. And most of them actually also reached the peak of their career. So some of them were supervisors during the time that they joined, but now they're already undersecretaries, assistant secretaries. Some of the staff who has been part of the pool are now assistant directors. And I think PFMCP has been instrumental to their career development also. Because at PFMCP, we teach them how to be more confident, how to voice out their insights, how to learn more than what they are expected to. So I think that's one thing that I am proud of. And of course, it's not only hand-holding them through the journey of PFMCP, but making sure that they are enjoying every step of it. Drama.
Follow-up question lang. Pwede, kasi, parang connected siya. How does it feel working with other alumni, Australian Arts alumni,
Okay.
in the program?
Okay, I'm happy to mention also that some of the Australian Awards Scholarship Program alumni are also in the pool of speakers of the PFMCP. And one thing about it is that these alumni are already equipped with the competency of, of a passionate public speaker. And I think that competency was developed also during their study in Australia. So one thing that's very relevant is that we understand each other because probably we're using the same language. Probably because, teka lang, nawala na ako. Iniisip ko kasi kung sino ba sila.
Meron ka bang ballpark figure parang they're around parang?
Actually, dalawa yung active ngayon.
Pero yung mga na-train,
Yeah, they're part of the current pool. Okay. In percentage na lang. Okay.
yung mga abilities.
Okay, sige. So, 15% of our current pool of resource speaker of the PFMCP are actually alumni of the Australian Awards Scholarship Program. And I'm happy to mention that they are very efficient, very competent, very confident in carrying out the program. So they have been very instrumental. Most of them are with us for the past decade already. And I'm happy to mention also that they are sustaining their engagement with the program. Ayan. Mamaya, mamimit niyo si Mickey. So she's been with us since then.
How does it, if you're gonna look at it, diba, parang iba kasing perspective, but sa tingin niyo po, how did the program overall parang created ripple or effect on the BBM or on the Philippines?
Did it make a difference?
How did it make a difference to the Philippines as a whole, from your perspective?
The REAP.
I don't know, but just imagine if we have this X number of competent, parang,
RP.
parang PFM practitioners.
Okay.
Yung effect niya,
Okay.
sa BBM and the entire bureau.
Okay. So actually, it's not only capacitating the budget officers or the PFM practitioners in the government, but it's more of engaging them.
Nag-radyo po sana.
Sige.
Ay, nako.
Okay.
Ulit po, sorry.
Sige, sandali. Dala. Inisip ko ulit yung sagot ko. Ano nga ba yun? Effect niya sa, sa government as a whole.
We have this
Okay.
goal, like a target, na dapat
Yeah.
ganitong number of And then parang yung reason behind the numbers. Parang bakit ganun, parang ba't may ganung target? Ano yung effect nung may ganitong number of
I-relate ko sa RIP. Okay. Alright, sige. Okay. So as mentioned, there are 24,000 PFM practitioners in the government of the Philippines. And actually, our goal is to engage at least 100% of these practitioners. But we cannot do that if we will not be able to implement the program. And one key is actually to engage more trainers who will be implementing the program. And actually, that's the effect of the Reentry Action Plan. We increase the number of trainers so that we'll be able to increase the number of classes that we conduct. And it's not only training budget officers or PFM practitioners in terms of numbers, but making sure that they're able to apply the learnings that they have learned from the program. And I think that's very important because once they are able to apply the learnings from the program, they're able to deliver better service in the public or better public service. Okay, edit na lang. So basically yun yung logic behind increasing the number of pool of speakers. Because before, we are only to conduct 1 class per month, but now we are able to conduct more than 3 classes per month. And that would mean engagement of more than 100 participants per month per course. So I think that's very valuable because the trained speakers are able to carry out the target of the program.
Follow-up rin din, pero related na siya, Meryl, sa number 5 naman.
Okay.
Parang, ito yung what was the situation in DBM before you implemented the REAP and after. Parang, coming from the zero-based knowledge yun. Although wala tayong exact figure now, pero parang ano yung observations mo? Ano yung different ngayon? Kahit anecdotal lang. Before ganito, wala, zero, and then ngayon, we already have this pool of competent
All right. So before, the culture in the government is actually very silo. After they do their work, they're done. But now, because through the program, we are trying to encourage them to actually be accountable of their work, they're able to familiarize what would be the task done before their process and then after their process. So what I mean is that they're able to identify their accountability for each process that the whole PFM cycle is actually doing. So me, for example, as a budget officer, I'm not only concerned of my work as a budget officer, but I'm also concerned of the output of the accountant before and after my process. So I think that's one thing that's very important in the program. We're able to develop that behavior and attitude of accountability and making sure that they are accountable to the output of each other or each player in the process. So yeah. Tama na ba yun? Sige,
And how
pa-edit.
did the program improve the service delivery of DBM? Is there any data or any anecdotal or insights from different departments?
Okay. So one of the design, or actually the design of the program is competency-based. As mentioned, we are capacitating each individual one step at a time. And I think the improvement on the individual competency actually affected or impacted the output of the agency. So like, for example, this is very specific. When you attend PFMCP, you're actually taught how to fill out forms, okay? So once you identified or learned the value of that form, the beds and the BFARs, you're able to perform that task efficiently. So the time of, making sure that you're doing the filling out of the forms the right way the first time. So it means that you will be able to submit this requirement to DBM on time. And actually, it reduces the service level agreement or the time delivery of a certain output. So I think that's one value that we are doing in the program, because the design is actually more of including structured learning exercises wherein our participants are able to do hands-on experiences or hands-on experience during the case study analysis, during the technical budget hearing mock activity. So they're able to experience kung ano yung ginagawa rin ng other performers in the process. So they're able to understand ano yung impact ng trabaho nila sa ibang tao.
From what I processed, basically the keywords that came out is accountability, and I feel like this is efficiency. So just to parang if can you reword the answer in a shorter way, wherein in terms of the improving the service, there's more efficiency. Can we say that?
Okay, wait. Okay.
And more accountability in terms of the people who are actually doing the job.
Okay. So, wait lang. Isipin ko muna yung sagot ko. Through the PFMCP, no? Okay. Okay. Through the PFMCP, we are able to develop accountability in our participants. And it goes out when they go back to their workplaces, they're able to perform their task with accountability, making sure that they are accountable to the work that they're doing, they're accountable to their coworkers, and it ensures an efficient output along the way. Hindi ko alam kung tama, pero yun yun.
Okay. Last two questions from my but ito yung, aside from the number of budget officers trained, what is the organizational outcome to DBM and the whole public sector financial management of the program? So mas macro na yung, ano ba yung gusto intent dito ni Australia? Inad ko to kagabi. Yung organizational outcome to DBM. What's the angle that we're...
Dito ako sa notes ko din. So parang we just want to show na the outcome is not just the number of budget officers trained. So beyond that, the organizational outcome to DBM and the whole public sector financial management.
Actually, to answer that question in a simple term, yun nga, developing competencies in your PFM practitioners actually improves their performance. And through the improved performance, they're able to deliver better service for the public. And I think it's very important, building competencies. Siya yung naglalabas ng potential ng individual on how to do their work better. And if I would to relate that on the performance of DBM, since they are able to train PFM practitioners, teka lang, na-lost na ako. Ay. Pero gusto kong sabihin, yung pag-develop ng competency kasi, nagiging efficient yung work. So, mas napapabilis siya. So, sa DBM, instead na binabalik niya yung trabaho doon sa kanyang stakeholders, pinaprocess niya efficiently. Kasi marunong na yung mga PFM practitioner. Paano ko ba i-Englishin yun? At saka kasi the PFMCP is a vehicle for reforms.
You can start with that.
Okay.
Pwede naman Taglish.
Okay.
Complete akong battery.
Take it express.
Tapos mamaya for safety lang, although parang na-mention na rin na kanya, parang pwede mo rin mag-explain yung ano yung PFM or PFMCP. Parang
Para sa akin po.
para lang baka yung audience din, hindi nila mag-gets agad. Parang sa
Yes,
start.
yes.
parang
Okay,
then,
sige.
Meron tayong na-establish na the PFM or the PFMCP is this, and then bakit siya importante,
Okay.
lalo na sa mga public servants.
Okay, sige. Alright. Doon muna ako sa question on how... alright. Yung sa reforms, no? Yung sinabi ko sa reforms.
It's a basa.
Is a vehicle. Okay.
Vehicle for reform.
Ayan.
Yun.
Okay. Alright, sige. I-statement ka na lang. So...
Let us know, direct.
Rolling lang.
Okay, so Actually, the PFMCP is a vehicle for reform. So this is a venue for the DBM to actually inform the PFM practitioners in the government of the latest issuances and policies that is being initiated by the department. So through the program, we are able to explain that to our stakeholders, to our participants in the most layman's term. And not only through dissemination of the information, but making sure that they are able to experience this through our structured learning exercises. So this would be through case studies, mock TBH or technical budget hearing, and alike. So the design of the program is more of collaborating, and since our participants are not only budget officers, but this would be a mix of accountants, cashier, internal auditors, and even procurement specialists. They're able to share their knowledges and experiences during the classes, and that's actually where the experiential learning happens. And later on, when they go back to their workplaces, they're able to take action based on the learnings and knowledge that they're able to acquire through the program. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, sige.
Perfect. Ayan. So, yung another, ano lang
What is
din, a
PFMCP?
quick explanation,
Okay.
parang mas basic and shortened.
PFMCP.
PFM.
Okay. So PFMCP is actually Public Financial Management Competency Program, and the objective is actually to capacitate the PFM workforce in the government of the Philippines. This is basically developing their competencies, not only their behavior, their attitude, their skills and knowledge, so that they'll be able to perform their task efficiently, and in turn, they'll be able to do public service, efficient public service. Ulitin ko na lang. Okay, wait, sandali. Ulitin ko. Okay. So PFMCP is actually Public Financial Management Competency Program, which is the objective is to capacitate the PFM workforce in the government of the Philippines. The objective is to develop individual competencies, specifically their behavior, attitude, knowledge, and skills in the workplace. And in turn, it would give them that competency to serve the public efficiently. Okay, ayun eh.
So, siguro, just for me, can you share like the top milestones or top 2 or top 3 milestones when you are experiencing the cascade na mas nagiging broader na siya, like wherein you're going to satellite offices, what are the parang pinaka-impactful milestones for you, when you told yourself na ito na, parang we are really making it, we're really creating bigger impact.
Okay, so there are two things. Number one is when we conduct it to the national government agencies, we only do the brown bag session. So we handpick the top 10 agencies, top 10 spending agencies in the government. And then we target the PFM practitioners in those agencies. And then after the brown bag session, we're of course getting participants and enrollees for the program. What's surprising is that even if the agency is not a participant of the brown bag session, there's a clamor of actually enrolling to the program. So like if they're not, even if they're not the target agency, we have to, accommodate them because they are very interested in the program. In fact, our wait list is more than 100 participants. And I think that's one thing that made us realize that there's a clamor for a capacity development program for PFM practitioners. And as mentioned, not even doing marketing for the program is only through word of mouth. Ay, naka-attend ako ng PFMCP. Ay, gusto ko rin matuto dyan. And during the post-activity evaluation of each classes, every time they would say that the program is very effective. Hearing feedback from our participants is actually the best validation that we are doing the right thing in implementing PFMCP. Another one is that, as mentioned, we are doing only this for NGA or national government agencies. But when the current administration actually mentioned or told us that we need to cascade it to the local government units, that I realized that PFMCP is really a valuable CapDev program for the government. Because from training 30 participants per class, during the LGU rollout, we are able to accommodate more than 600 participants at one run. And that's a good number, showing us that we're increasing the engagement of our PFM practitioners in the government. In fact, after the pandemic, we were able to increase our engagement by more than 300%. So imagine engaging 2,000 participants from 2015 when we started until 2019. We were able to engage more than 10,000 after 2024. So, I mean, the number that I'm mentioning right now is actually a good increase or a great increase from the usual number that we have been accommodating before. And that's because we reach out to the local government units already. So, implementing the same program, the competency program for the PFM practitioners. Wala na ako English? Okay.
Yung mention mo ay yung ICR, na parang how are you able to, during your implementation of the REIT, na parang kasi kasama
Okay, so the PCR. Okay. So actually, my re-entry action plan on the expansion of the pool of speakers for the PFMCP is actually included in my Division Performance Commitment Report, or the DPCR. And it would mean actually that my performance or my implementation of the re-entry action plan is actually included in rating my performance as the Division Chief of the Capacity Development Division. And actually, it added to the commitment of making sure that the program is being implemented. Because I know through the DPCR, we are doing an efficient planning and execution of the plans we have started for the division, specifically also for the implementation of the PFMCP. Ewan ko, enough na yun. Pero, yun, yung DPCR.
Last, pinaka-last na.
Okay.
From me naman.
Okay.
Is when you were listening kanina from our other interviewees, and you mentioned you're getting a little emotional. What was that about? Can you share about it? Parang, what has sunk in you, and what were the emotions, and what's inside it?
Actually, hearing the feedback from our resource speaker and our participants, I realized that we're creating impact. Kasi it's always that we provide feedback to our RP, especially after each class. We give them feedback letters, mentioning that they have done a great job, that their performance has improved. But kanina, nung narinig ko yung feedback nila, sabi ko, wait, meron pala kaming impact sa kanila. It's not only capacitating them to be better trainers, but actually we're changing their lives because it actually contributed to their career improvement. And of course, to their self-confidence and making sure that yung mga knowledge and learnings that they have actually acquired through the program, not only implementing PFMCP, but also attending our training of trainers actually help them to be, better individuals. They are able to realize na meron pala akong ganitong potential. And I'm pretty sure they haven't realized that until they were given the opportunity to, do public speaking and being resource person of the program. So emotional ako because hindi namin naririnig yun sa team eh. Pagkatapos ng program, tapos na, we're done. Although we're friends, but hearing those specific feedback really, melts our heart. Kasi, we're changing lives. We're making a difference in each individual, not only to the participants, but of course, to the pool of speakers that we have been developing. Nagulat ako kay Cathy kasi hindi ko pa yung naririnig sa ibang speakers eh. At saka sa participant.
Ako last na. What drives you to keep on doing this, to keep on improving this, diba? Kasi there's always growth. Checking ano bang kailangan natin gawin. What drives you?
Probably one is our team or my team, including the RPs, including our participants, are enjoying the program. Every time that I review post-activity reports, I always hear feedback that they wanted to share the program to other participants as well. And they wanted to invite other PFM practitioners to the program. Another one is that there's a lot of improvement. There's a lot of opportunity for PFMCP. There's a lot of room for improving the delivery of the program. There's a lot of opportunity to do more partnership with other institutions so that our reach for the PFMCP will be, wider. as mentioned, there's 24,000 of PFM practitioners in the government of the Philippines. We're not even engaging half of them. So I believe that this program will be very instrumental in making sure that each PFM practitioner in the government are competent, they're exhibiting the behavior, attitude, skills, and knowledge of a PFM practitioner, ideal of a government employee. So, yeah.
Parang may tanong po ako.
Okay, yes.
Is there any question po na hindi pa po namin natanong that's very important to you and what you've done for the DBM?
I would just like to mention that this is a team effort. It's not only me, it's not only an individual REAP or re-entry action plan, or it's not because may REAP ako na kailangan i-accomplish. That's the reason why we're doing this. But I would like to credit the team, for past and present team of the CDD or the Capacity Development Division in terms of making the program successful. Again, it's not an individual accomplishment, but it's a team effort, and it would not be possible if the administration is not supporting it. I would also like to thank Australia Awards from the very beginning. Australian government, I mean, from the very beginning, from the development of the program through the implementation, and even now, this interview actually would be a very good instrument in, promoting the program, promoting Australia Awards, and encouraging more scholars to apply to the program. Because I believe that, being an alumni of an Australian university really makes a difference. Even me personally, hindi ko na imagine that it would impact me personally. Akala ko lang mag-a-abroad lang ako, I'll get my stipend. But coming back and making sure that I implement programs and projects from what I have learned from that postgrad makes an impact, not only sa sarili ko, but also to the division that I serve, to the government that I serve, to the agency or the department that I actually work for. So, hindi ko yung nare-realize. Ngayon ko nga lang na-realize, nakausap niyo ako eh. Sabi ko siguro kulang ako sa gratefulness, no? Ngayon ko lang siya nasasabi. Kasi I haven't mentioned, I haven't had any interview after postgrad. Ngayon ko lang siya na-share, and how proud I am to the team of, carrying out the project. Kasi hindi siya madali. Talagang lakas lang ng loob. Talagang iniisip ko, paano kaya namin nagagawa? Pero yun, again, not only dahil ako lang yon, but because of teamwork and collaboration.
So I think na-answer na niya yung gratitude. Kasi may ganung tanong who are the people and organizations that you want to thank?
Ayun.
So siguro, a little same answer but more
specific.
Compact.
Okay.
Mas more shorter, pero nandun yun. So who are the people and organizations that you want to thank?
Okay. So, of course, I would like to thank Australian government, the Australian Awards Scholarship Program, for providing this opportunity, for, of course, developing the PFMCP from the very beginning, 10 years ago, sustaining it through, providing us support along the way. Some of the capacity development initiatives still came from PHRODF, and that's one. Another is, of course, I would like to thank my team, the Capacity Development Division, for making sure that we are able to implement this program efficiently over the years. So it has been a decade, and I'm happy that some of those who have been with us from the very beginning is still with the division right now. Of course, I would like to thank the past and present team members of the Capacity Development Division, my mentors, my supervisors, my director, for supporting the program and approving our conduct of the program. They have been very helpful in making sure that we are able to carry out the plans for the PFMCP. The administration, the current administration, the Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management, because if not with her support, we will not be able to bring the program to the local government units. And I think that's one feat that the program has been, proud of and is, very successful. I mean, increasing the engagement of participants in the program has been very significant for everybody in the group.
Okay. And then last for call to action na lang is,
Okay.
what is your message to fellow young dreamers who are also aiming to continue their postgraduate studies in Australia and make a difference?
Okay, so believe in yourself. Identify. Sige. Doon na kayo sa labas. Ano, okay ba sa ADC? Sige. Sa labas. Alright, ano nga ba yun? Sige,
So
wait
what
lang.
is your message
Okay.
to fellow dreamers who are also aiming to continue their postgraduate studies in Australia and also make a difference? Like you?
Yeah, believe in yourself.
Sorry, can you repeat
Sandali.
it out loud?
Iniisip ko ano yung script ko kasi sinulat ko yung script ko.
Ano ba yung may message to every passionate is to just do it
Every
and
passionate,
do it.
every passionate
If you want something, do not hesitate.
Ayan, okay.
Blah, blah, blah. But you can make it your own.
So actually, my message to those individuals who wanted to make a difference is be passionate about your. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung magiging passionate sila. Wait lang.
Maganda yung believe in yourself.
Sige. Masyadong Star Trek eh.
Okay.
Okay. So for those individuals who wanted to make a difference, believe in yourself. Altogether, let's make a difference through similar scholarship programs that the Australian government is actually offering. And you will be surprised on how this initiative will actually help you individually and how would it impact your life in the future. So like myself, making a difference is, hindi ko na alam ang kasunod. Pero sana may makuha na kayo ron. Pero yeah, yun. Believe in yourself and pursue with your passion. Yeah, gawin niyo kung ano yung gusto niyo and do it with the heart because it will not be a job if you love what's your hindi ko na alam yung sasabihin ko. Do it with passion and with dedication because you will not have to work another day if you love the job that you're doing. So, yun na yan.
And then last na, how do you see yourself making a difference in your field in the coming years? Kasi, kumbaga parang you're just getting started.
How do I see myself? Well, one thing that I'm looking forward really is to see PFMCP as a more improved program in the future, making sure that we are able to engage more PFM practitioners in the government, making sure that we are able to cover the total training population that we wanted to target. And of course, not only capacitating them, but making sure that they are able to apply the learnings back to their workplace and taking action for that.
Yay!
Ay, Diyos ko. Salamat. Okay.
Kapel muna, Ange. And then, I'm thinking,
na meron ka ng ganong experience, meron ka ng ganong knowledge and how you do things.
Actually po, since yung program or yung PFMCP is complete siya from, sabihin na natin, hanggang budget prep. Ang handle ko lang po before is budget execution. So I didn't know how budget prep really works talaga. And right now, assigned po kasi ako sa budget preparation ng SUCs sa functional coverage ng NCR. So, dun ko po na-apply yung learnings ko na ganito pala yung ganito po pala yung feeling how to budget prep talaga. And yung knowledge ko doon na parang ito yung titignan mo while budgeting, ganyan. Ito yung titignan mo during the evaluation ng reports, ganyan. So, mas parang nagkaroon siya ng sa akin, ng leverage on how I handle yung budget preparation.
ready na kami.
Sa SUCs po, State Universities and Colleges po.
Lahat.
Yung sa functional, yes po, NCR. So,
Ayun, but yun din yung i-mention na yun yung role niya.
Yes.
Sa SUC, so before, bago yung, hindi ka pa nag-undergo ng program, hindi ka pa nabibigyan ng additional role, di ba? So, pwedeng ganun.
Yan na po ba?
So, better for our cameraman if hindi naman super stiff, but you could mas hindi para at least your mic din mo hindi maririnig yung sound, yung scratches.
Sige pa.
So,
Lesser movements. na lang po.
lesser movements. Ayan. But I like your tone of voice, your confidence na may vibrant. Yeah. Very vibrant yung energy mo. So, maganda yan. Okay. So, let's start with a little introduction. You can tell us who you are and then what you currently do, and what's your current responsibility in your department?
So, I am Eileen A. Walat, Budget and Management Specialist 2 of the Department of Budget and Management, National Capital Region. So, under po siya ng Regional Office ng DBM.
So how did you end up taking the PFMCP program? So, and how was the process like for you, and what do you love about this program?
Okay. I was chosen po to partake or be part of the PFMCP and to take the whole course from track 1 up to track 6 po of the program.
And can you expound on what do you love about the program, or what makes it special?
Okay. Actually, the PFMCP broadened my knowledge po on the budgeting process of the DPM. So, during our lessons, ganyan, meron pong mga different agencies na mga ka-group ko po and anything. So, I can...
Okay.
Kinabahan ako. Parang kanina ang ganun.
Okay, it's okay. Take a deep breath. Ayan. So, siguro, you can answer na lang the question that about, like, you can start now what I love about the program or what makes it special or effective, para at least may a little context.
Sige po. So, what I love about the program is that... sige. Okay. What I love about the program is that it focuses on the budget preparation, budget execution, even the reporting, which is the core process of the DPM po. And during that course po, nung tinitake ko po yung PFMCP, is nagkaroon po ako ng mas deeper appreciation dun sa budgeting process, and even broaden din po yung aking knowledge, especially right now, before nung I take the program, ang hinahandle ko lang po talaga is budget execution phase. So, hindi ko po alam kung ano yung ibang part or phase pa ng budgeting. So, during that time, since meron pong mga topics na related sa reporting, sa budget preparation. So, naging edge ko po siya or leverage ko po dun sa hinahandle ko po ngayon, since I'm currently handling po yung budget preparation side ng SUCs na within the functional coverage of the DBM and CR.
Okay. So, can you tell us about this specific modules or maybe parts of the program that really help you improve your skills or how you do your work? So parang ano yung mga remarkable modules na na-apply mo na until now in your current job?
Okay. Yung mga mas struck po talaga sa akin with the BPP is yung mga case studies po, wherein na-apply po namin siya real-time talaga. Since ang budget preparation, budget execution is yun na po yung core talaga na ginagawa ng DBM. So after the learning sessions, ganyan, after the case studies, ma-apply mo siya kaagad. So nandun yung parang unti-unti yung growth mo na hindi mo nakikita from before, and na-apply mo na pala siya dun sa work na ginagawa mo ngayon.
And can you cite some examples on how you were able to improve how you do your work? Parang kanina you were sharing yung improvements, yung deeper appreciation with the budget process. So how did you change as a budget practitioner? Tama ba yung term? Or how did you evolve and improve overall?
Since po nagkaroon ako ng broadened knowledge and deeper appreciation dun sa budget process po, yung PFMCP helps me to be what I am now as a budget and management specialist too po. And, wait lang. Na-lost po ako.
Breath.
Ulit. Ano po ulit yung question? Sorry.
So, how did you, or parang if you're gonna look at yourself now, how did you, overall, how did you improve? Or what are the changes that you saw after the 6-month program?
Yes.
And how did you improve as a whole in doing what you do, your perspective, maybe a little, you're more confident, you're more, I don't know, sociable, or you're more open to change. How did after taking the program, what was that parang change that happened in you that allowed you to improve in the work that you do?
Okay po. Since the PFMCP tackles the whole po, the budgeting process. So, nagkaroon po ako ng appreciation talaga dun sa budgeting process. And right now po, yung growth na nakita ko po sa self ko is mas naging detailed-oriented po. Since more on technical analysis and data analysis po yung work namin. So, kailangan mo talagang tignan isa-isa yung mga reports or requests na sinasubmit ng agencies. And that's time since nagkaroon ako ng better appreciation through that program, the PFMCP po. Mas alam ko na kung anong gagawin dun sa mga reports, paano ko ba siya titignan, i-analyze, paano ko ba i-process yung ganitong request. And yung knowledge na na-learn ko po dun is ina-apply ko siya on a day-to-day basis, on our day-to-day transactions po sa office.
And if you were to talk to someone who's thinking or who's potentially gonna take the program in the near future, or what makes it special? What do you love about the approach, or maybe the kind of, kasi it's a long-term commitment, diba? But what makes it stand out for you?
Actually, I will recommend it greatly talaga sa iba kasi hindi lang siya basta program. Hindi lang siya about lessons na or it's not about just the training per se. But yung program na yun, the PFMCP, will widen their connections then with other practitioners, with budget officers, other specialists po. And yung track na po yun, hindi siya nagfo-focus sa isa lang eh. So, kailangan nilang i-take talaga yung buo para mas makuha nila ano ba yung budgeting process, paano ba nagbabudget si DBM, or paano ba ginagawa ni DBM yung budget ng Pilipinas.
Sa tingin mo, itong buong programa nito, paano siya nakatulong sa buong DBM in general? From your perspective, kasi nakakita ka doon iba-iba, from LGU, yung mga kaklase mo, kasama mo sa activities, and when the cascade of the programs, tingin mo, how did it help generally yung buong Pilipinas or yung buong DBM as a whole?
The program po helped, since they are training, actually training mga budget specialists, budget officers, and even nag-train din sila ng mga susunod na mga trainers para dyan, is ini-instill mo yung knowledge po na natutunan mo dun sa program para malaman nila paano ba yung proper budgeting talaga sa Pilipinas. And that way, pag nag-submit na sila ng budget sa DBM or nag-craft na sila ng budget, makikita mo na concrete na siya And alam na nila how budgeting works talaga. And maganda siya kasi since yung program na to, meron kasing one instance na meron kaming parang role play. So, during that time, meron siyang from preparation, prepare mo yung budget execution, even the legislation. So, dun pa lang nakikita nila, ay ganito pala yung ginagawa during the legislation. Ay ganito pala yung ginagawa during the execution. Ito pala yung tinitignan ng DBM, kaya parang, or ito yung reason bakit may mga na-slash, may mga hindi na-reconsider or nako-consider dun sa proposals namin. So, ayun po, parang nakita mo siya as a whole na talaga.
How does it feel to be a part of this movement that DBM started and to be one of the, I don't know, graduates of this program and to be part of this, kasi it's an overall change, ang daming nakaka-apektuhan, di ba? We're talking about public funds, public budgets, and saan sa inyo nagsisimula? How does it feel to be part of this program that's shaping the future of the landscape of financial planners or budget analysts in the Philippines?
How does it shape?
Or how does it feel to be part of it? Kasi isa ka na eh, sa mga the chosen ones.
Yes,
diba?
yeah. I feel honored po talaga to be in the PFMCP. And yung knowledge po na nakuha ko, all the learnings po, gusto ko siyang i-share din sa iba na yung parang hindi mo siya i-gatekeep talaga. You want others also to experience what is the PFMCP all about.
Yung additional question ko lang is siguro more on your experience interacting with the RPs, with the resource persons nung program. Kamusta yung naging experience mo sa kanila? Ano yung feedback mo sa mga speakers ng program?
Actually, yung mga resource speakers sa PFMCP is well-seasoned po talaga. So, they handle talaga kung ano yung nire-report nila or ano yung tinuturo nila. So, dun mo makikita na hindi lang siya basta inassign sa resource speaker. So, mas naiintindihan mo yung tinuturo nila kasi parang ginagamit nila yung experience nila when teaching dun sa PFMCP po.
Doon sa program, sino yung naging speaker mo or yung RP from DBM din ba?
Yes po, from DBM po yung mga resource speakers
So
po.
how does it feel na from DBM din mismo yung mga experts na nagtuturo sa'yo doon sa program?
It feels like home. Kasi syempre, pag meron tayong mga approaches, so naiintindihan nila yung approach na ginagamit mo dun sa case studies, dun sa mga assignments. So, hindi siya parang, may time kasi na, syempre, pag magkaiba ng approach or magkaiba tayo ng idea, parang maglalaban eh. Pero since from DBM din siya, so they understand you kung saan ka nanggagaling dun sa mga sagot mo.
Kasi same content.
Yes. Okay na po. Thank you po. Thank you po. Binabahan ako.
Ayun. So, let us know lang kung rolling na.
Rolling na kami.
Ayan. So, audio check. Pwede po kayo magsalita.
Hello, mic test.
Mic test.
Mic test, okay.
So, okay. Can you do a little introduction of yourself? Tell us your name and then what's your current position, what you do, and saan po kayo assigned in your department?
Hi, I'm Alexis Francisco. I'm a training specialist 3. So I was just promoted this year from training specialist 2 and I am part of the capacity development division po.
What can you say about Eileen and her contribution to your department and organization through the Australia Awards Week?
So I first missed Eileen when I joined the team back in 2020 during the pandemic. So that was the time that she arrived back from Australia. So every program that we had, parang okay na po siya or functioning na, no? Implementation na po siya noong PFMCP na sinasabi. So during that time, we had to really think of ways in order for us to makasabay doon sa nangyaring pandemic. So through the leadership of Miss I, we were able to digitize and migrate the face-to-face conduct of the PFMCP to a digital one. So yun po yung bulk nung trabaho namin noong 2020. And thankfully enough, with the help and support of our management and of course Miss Eileen through her leadership po, we were able to capacitate PFM practitioners nationwide even though we were facing the challenges of the pandemic. It's just that hindi namin na-reach talaga yung previous goal to reach a wider net pa of PFM practitioners because we were prioritizing the quality of the PFMCP in a digitized version po.
And how does it feel that during these crucial times that you are part of this project that's creating a lot of impact in the bureaucracy and the DBM as a whole?
Actually, we were at first afraid talaga kasi parang halos lahat ng other learning and development companies and all na they were able agad na makasabay and offer a lot of learning sessions and trainings. Unlike us na parang nangapa kami na where do we come in? How do we do this? Kasi nga, nung face-to-face pa lang mahirap na siyang gawin. What more pa? Nagagawin mo siyang digitized and online. And not everyone of your participants can fully participate kasi walang equipment, walang internet, or even yung support from the management na magte-training sila during that time. So, we had to really learn a lot of new things. We had to break away from the usual traditional concepts ng training. So we had to open up ourselves doon sa focusing more on how we could offer this program in another way. And at the same time, not compromising our goals and kung ano yung gusto naming maging effect nun. Hindi lang sa organization namin, but to other agencies. Kasi yun naman talaga yung goal ng PFMCP to capacitate yung ating mga practitioners across national government agencies and other institutions. So, ayun po, I think that's one of the crucial things that we had to do. Na we had to, yun nga, open ourselves up to new avenues in order for us to reach our goal.
And how does it feel to also create an impact, not just in NCR, but even umabot pa with the LGUs and also in Farm? What made that possible in terms of Miss I's leadership and you guys as a team? How did you make it possible?
Teamwork po talaga. Kasi parang even though everyone was afraid na kahit si Miss I noon, hesitant siya na kaya ba talaga natin? Do we need to hire a technical assistant? Do we have the competency to fully implement this digitized PFMCP or to provide PFMCP to those participants or clients na gusto nilang gawin siya face-to-face even during the pandemic? So, I think nung nakita na namin siya, nung nagsimula kaming i-implement na siya, nakita namin na kaya pala namin siyang gawin and may effect pa rin siya talaga sa participants because we had testimonials na even though online siya, they learned a lot pa din and PFMCP is a great way pa rin talaga for them to understand what's happening in the bureaucracy, especially with budgeting kasi parang lahat nga sila clueless na ganun pala ka, hindi naman katindi, pero ganun pala yung responsibility ng DBM na hindi pala budgeting lang, it's all about money and everything. There's really a lot of things to understand the financial management, no, as in a holistic way and not really just individual concepts. So I think we were able to still have an impact doon sa aming mga participants, NGAs, LGUs, BARM. Parang it's all the same pero at the same time different din siya ng effect kasi iba rin naman yung paggamit nila doon sa mga natutunan nila back in their workplace or back to their constituents po.
And aside from the number, kasi that's a one metric, diba, to measure success, the number of trained people, the resource speakers, and then the budget officers. Sa tingin mo, what is the organizational outcome, or how did the program overall help DBM as a whole? If you're gonna look at it in a macro scale, being the one inside, internal, making it happen, at the same time observing the people who attended, and then seeing the entire DBM in a macro scale. Sa tingin mo, what's the organizational outcome, or how did it help DBM as a whole?
I think it helped DBM in a way that we gained the people's trust. Kasi usually, pag usapang budget, no, lagi kaming nasa news, lalo na kapag budget preparation, budget hearing, laging ang daming comments on DBM's capability doon sa budgeting phase or sa budgeting side ng government. So I think ang impact talaga is we gain the trust of the people, lalo na nung mga other agencies na alam nila kung ano palang nangyayari behind the scenes. Kasi mas naiintindihan na nila kung ano ba yung proseso. And at the same time, they understand na hindi lang pala ganun yun. Diba? They understand the role of DBM as an institution na ito pala yung role niya in the government. But at the same time, they understand yung role nila on their own agencies. And parang in a macro view na ganito pala yung contribution ko kapag tinama ko or tama yung ginagawa natin when it comes to budgeting. And at the same time, kung tama yung ginagawa natin sa sarili nating institution, it, parang hindi cascade, pero it uplifts na kapag sa DBM na, kapag okay yung submissions ng mga agencies, mas mapapadali yung trabaho ng DBM. So, all in all, parang siyang win-win situation talaga when it comes to knowing what you need to do sa budgeting.
And then, lastly, what do you admire about Miss I and her work, and how does it feel to be a part of this program, or if you have any message to them?
Knowing Miss I po, kasi she has been my supervisor ever since I came to the team, to the division. So there were a lot of challenges, and kasi we were, our personalities clash kasi. So, nung una talaga, hindi nagtutugma yung personality namin. So, I had to learn then how to listen to my supervisor, listen to her criticism, her feedback, na kung saan ba may mali sa gawa ko, saan ba pwedeng magkaroon pa ng improvement. So, naging ganun yung relationship namin na she became my mentor din, na there are a lot of things pa pala that I need to learn. Na although I am capable or competent in doing the work, I can still learn a lot from her and her experience, not only in DBM but through the Australia Awards nga po, na na-open up siya to that kind of experience. So, and then, a message. Parang, my message to her is just to ground herself kung saan siya nanggaling. And sana po ay hindi mawawala yung care niya sa kanyang, sorry, very emotional, yung care niya dun sa mga katrabaho po niya. Yun po.
Okay, I'll take a deep breath.
Sorry, very emotional ako today.
Okay. Ayan, grabe. Okay, yun lang.
Thank you po.
Thank you so much.
Evicted na po ako sa PBB.
Evicted na. Wala pala ang pinlumabas pala siya. So we're ready.
Sorry ka.
Ayan. So we can start with a short introduction of you, so you can mention your name, your current role that you work in, and a little, you can expound a little bit about your department and what you do. So anytime she's ready. Anytime you're ready.
Well, okay na yung mic test. Okay na yan. Okay.
Na-practice na ako kanina siya. Ayan, so,
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Hello, I'm Catherine B. Castro, Senior Budget and Management Specialist of the Department of Budget and Management, National Capital Region. We process the transactions in the NCR, or our coverage, such as the local government units, Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, and regional line agencies, state university.
look at me.
Alright. Sa'yo.
Alright. Can you take the chair po ng konti? Papunta sa akin. Konti na po na.
Sa'yo po.
Or yung,
Forward.
Or yung upo, ako na po yan. Yung upo nyo na lang po, I guess.
Mas,
Dito.
mas on the edge.
Mas, hindi. Dito ako kasi.
Okay.
Ayan. Kita, okay, better. Okay.
Sa'yo po. Okay na po. Okay. Side po. Okay.
Huwag niyo pong piliin ng kalbo, joke.
Hindi na ako kalbo. Buhok na ako.
Ayan, so, ulit po. So, can you introduce a little bit about yourself, tell us about your role and your responsibilities?
Hello, I am Catherine B. Castro, Senior Budget and Management Specialist of the Department of Budget and Management, National Capital Region. We in the region process the transactions, budgetary releases, review of the local government units' budgets, Metropolitan Development Authority, state universities and colleges and NCRs, and other regional line agencies. I'm one of the pull-up speakers in the Public Financial Management Competency Program, in which one of our function also is to provide capacity building activities to our line agencies on what topics such as budget process, and then budget administration, compensation, and organizational staffing, and compensation matters.
Can you tell us how did you take the
Dadaan po.
program? Ayan, sige po, go lang po. So how were you able to take the program? How did it came to be? And what do you love about it?
Okay. In 2023, the DBM posed the application for the pull-up speakers, and our department, our director, nominated 2 representatives in the region, and one of the representative is me. So after that, that's why we undergone trainings on the facilitation skills, essential presentation skills, basically that, and then after that, we already part of the pool of speakers, and then we are provided specific topics on the national budget process. Specifically for me, I chose the introduction to budgeting, budget preparation, and developments in budgeting because there are wide topics in the public financial management because PFM is really composed of different elements in the public finance. But that, what I love about the PFMCP, it provided me an opportunity to develop my public speaking skills before I don't have the proper training or formal training. We know the issuances, we know the PowerPoint presentations, we just discuss it to our clients. Just that it. But with the PFMCP, we have given this opportunity to learn, to provide career growth in us. And then another thing, they give us a 360-degree feedback mechanism, or wherein we speak or we try our public speaking skills, and then the facilitator will give us feedback, which is I really appreciate so much because I didn't know that in the DBM, it's not just the technical skills, but the soft skills. It really developed my and improved my soft skills. And then with that feedback, I applied it on our own capacity building activities, and the audience really appreciate that. And then they give us a very satisfactory and outstanding rating. That's why I'm really glad and thankful to Miss Eileen and her team to really, they are very, to facilitate this PFMCP. And then I feel very accommodated. We, the speakers, are very feel accommodated because they really provide capacity building activities to us.
And can you cite some examples of how the program supported you? And what were the aspects of growth that you've seen personally within you as a trainer yourself?
Yes. Ano yung first question?
How did the program support you?
Okay. First, it added on my it added on my qualification list because we can already, because it's a formal, the PFMCP is a formal pool of speakers. Before we don't have that, so we are not it added credibility to our resume or our profile, where in fact pinapakilala kami or we are being introduced as one of the pool of speakers or PFMs.
Can we, i-move lang yung
Mic?
nakikita lang line.
Okay.
Nakikita ko na pala.
Ayan.
Hindi siya nakaklip.
Tape na lang natin sa susunod. That's fine. May tape naman dito, Ange.
Ayan.
Ba, nakita mo Pero kayo naman natin nag-uusapan ni Ange. Pero hindi naman halata kasi naka-dark blue siya.
Ayan. So how did the program supported you? And what aspects have you seen where you felt na I've grown, I've improved in this aspect of my public speaking or confidence? So
Yes. The PFMCP helped me in improving my credibility as a speaker, because before we don't have the official list of the pool of speakers, but now when you are in the pool of speakers, they know, or the audience know, that you are trained and you are capacitated and you are qualified to discuss or to talk about the PFMCP or PFM topics. And then for the career growth, again, when I listed all the speaking engagement, it also added to my credibility as a speaker. And of course, another thing that supports me is the camaraderie within the region, because we also have different speakers in the regions, and then we share best practices, and then we share also the qualification or the standards from the other speakers as well. So the camaraderie and then the collaboration, it's also I get from the PFMCP.
okay. So now that you've talked about the personal impact of this in your personal growth, if you're going to look at it on a macro sense and the organizational DBM as an organization, or even in your department, the NCR team, how did you feel this program affected the entirety of DBM in general, or the public financial literacy section and the training of trainers? How did it affect the whole department as a whole from your perspective?
Yes. I learned from the PFMCP again I will highlight the feedback mechanism of the PFMCP, because again, before we don't need the feedback of the audience. So we know for a fact that we are DBM, and then we discuss things, and then we cascaded the assurances, circulars, and that's it. But with this program, we required the feedback for us to really also improve ourselves, because it's different when the perspective of the people or your audience will impact you. For example, one of my experience that when they know that the DBM is the speaker, they will attend. Yes, they will attend because they know we provided clear. I always get feedback. We always get feedback from the audience that our presentations are clear. Our presentations are in layman's terms, that's it's understandable to them. And as a DBM, as an NCR, we had recently conducted the PFM-CP for the local government units last year, September 2024. We invited the PFM practitioners such as budget officers, treasurers, planning officers, accountants, no, to discuss the local budget process because we have updated the manual last 2023. And then that's the full of speakers in the DBM per region. But in the NCR per se, we got the highest rating, outstanding rating from the audience of around 250 participants from all over the National Capital Region local government unit. So with that, we are, as an impact to the DBM, we gain so much credibility, and we know for a fact that the DBM, one of our functions, not just to release budget, but really teach the practitioners on the public financial management as a whole.
And how does it feel to be a part of this movement that happened in DBM, that you're actually creating very macro yung effect because we're talking about budget here. How does
Yes.
it feel to be a part of this movement of really elevating the financial management literacy of these important LGUs and departments that handles the budgets?
DBM alone is already a prestige thing. When you said you came from DBM, it's already a prestige thing. But when you are also a speaker or a resource person on the public financial management topics such as budgeting, it's different because we need to teach the participants. And then what we gain from that is when they knew or when they submit their budget proposals or budget, they're already in prescribed format, template, or already in proper. So on our side, we knew that we are effective because they improve a lot on their budgeting process.
And how do you feel about that?
It's very I'm very satisfied on that, and it's very fulfilling in a sense that it's not about your public speaking per se, but it's you really sharing information, really important information to our participants.
Hi, ma'am. Jen po from Australia.
Yes, ma'am.
Maganda yung last sinabi niyo ng dati. It's not just about public speaking, but giving them the information. If you can just be specific, kahit yung sa last part na yun, kung ano yung important content that you're sharing, na parang to encourage them to know more about yung importance ng public financial management and sa role nila as public servants.
Okay. Sige, ma'am. Ano nga yung question? Okay. Ayun.
Ayan. So, can you repeat again the insight wherein you shared that you feel like what you gained is not just competency in public speaking, but also something bigger than that?
Okay. It is very fulfilling because it's not about public speaking skills per se, but we shared information, important information to our participants, such as how to properly use your public funds, no? In such a manner that it's been used to prioritize sectors, and then and how to really manage it well. So because again, public funds, no, it's a public resources, and then it is also a public trust, diba? So that's why our service, no, we need public trust in us, and because we handle funds, that's why we need to really use it well.
And how did the experience of training help you become better at doing this?
Yeah. Because of their feedback, positive feedback, no, it uplifts me as a speaker to really delve further onto the PFM per se, because I'm focused on the budgeting side. So I am now really interested to delve to other sides such as developments in budgeting, fiscal policy. That's another thing, no? Because for me, it should be a programmatic approach or it should be a holistic approach.
Yay!
Thank you po.
Ano ba? Intense joke. Share the same experience of being a scholar yourself. So parang medyo ganun yung medyo angle na gusto nila.
Roll ka na.
Na more on, as a fellow alumni, how was it working with Miss I, or how does it feel attending the program per se? Ganyan.
Parang iba yung intro sa ni Aileen din. Na iba, pero sige.
Galing to sa sa mga nakukulan. Yung ganun silang... Kabilang nila, ganun.
Grabe! Nainggit nga ako kay Aileen dyan eh.
Ayan. So, ayun po. So, we will start with, you can say mic test.
Mic test.
We're
good.
Okay. Okay. So, we can start with a little introduction. You can introduce yourself, what you currently do here in DBM, and then a little background about your Australia Award scholarship.
Okay.
Ano lang, kasalanan po ito ni Miss Millie. Charot. Yung mga extra angle.
Angles. Okay. So, bali ano lang, parang more direction na doon sa work and then...
Yeah, you can say talaga your name.
Okay.
Parang at least we have that file din.
Okay. Sige po. I'm Marica Joanna de la Peña. I'm working with the DBM for the last 15 years as a budget and management analyst. So currently, I'm already working as an acting chief budget and management specialist. I took the Australia Award Scholarship last 2019 and just got back last 2021. So it's 4 years ago na. Well, Aileen actually was one of the who influenced me to apply for Australia Awards. But not necessarily because of PFM-CP, this rape, no. Pero more of her experience na din. But definitely yung relationship namin, no, hindi nga lang doon sa PFM-CP, but more of nag-extend siya during my scholarship days in Australia.
And how did you get involved with the program? Were you like the chosen one in your department to attend it, or were you like presented na I want to attend or was it like mandated? How did it came to be?
Actually, I was surprised when I got the call from a friend, no. Yung friend ko na yan I met from my sa una kong master's degree. So, Director Roel called me if I'm interested in attending a training of trainers for the foundation track of the PFM-CP. So I was surprised. I was really thinking na what made him invite me, no? Tapos parang si Aileen wala naman siya sinasabi that time sa akin. So, okay, so baka maybe they just know na I was teaching back then at the University of Santo Tomas. So maybe they can use that skill and develop it more for this program. So yun.
So upon attending, what makes that program special in your perspective? What do you love about it?
Well, first, this is outside my usual job. No? As an analyst, we are usually within our office and probably extend some technical assistance, provide budgeting 101 to our handled agencies. But the PFMCP has a different approach. No, from the foundation track that it fosters yung mga skills na you need to collaborate. You can actually you can still further improve your analytical skills that are very important in our work. No, hindi siya basta tinuturo outside, but with the PFMCP, parang they put importance on those skills. While these are basic, but nevertheless, kailangan din matutunan ng fellow public financial practitioners. So it's good thing na may ganong avenue na
It's okay. Ayun. So after attending, let's parang shift perspective. So let's zoom in first with your personal growth. So after attending the training for trainers, how were you changed, or how did you transform after? What was the effect of that training in your own career, in how you carry yourself, in your overall confidence in the work that you do?
Yeah. I mentioned earlier na nagtuturo na ako noon eh. I mean, I'm not sure kung mga all my second year na nagtuturo. But it actually improved how I prepare for my class. And then it actually opened the door.
Can you repeat this? We can mention the program. Kasi yung IT kasi parang...
the PFM. Okay. Sige. So yun, the PFMCP somehow improved how I deliver my classes.
Pwede wag somehow.
Ay, wag nang somehow, yung
Nakatulong ko.
diretso na. Sige. Okay, thanks. So, the PFMCP helped me improve on my teaching skills, no? Kasi nga, that time, nagtuturo ako nun sa UST. So, how I deliver my presentation, how I stand in front, it somehow improve how I present myself to the students. The PFMCP also gave way to more confident na pag-deliver ng Budgeting 101 doon naman sa work ko sa handled agencies. Kasi yung that time, yung hinahandle ko, they were constantly asking for resource speakers to discuss public financial management. So, the program helped me improve on how to deliver, how to talk first, no? How to remove the the fillers, and then how to project myself with my hands, how to stand, and even how to present the material itself. So yun. So sunod-sunod yun. Parang ako na rin yung pinapadala ng office pag may invitation for resource speaker.
And did it also help in your career growth, or in and if yes, sa tingin mo, how?
Well, definitely it helped my career, no? Kasi maraming aspects naman din ang tinitingnan yung boss namin. So, in terms of promotion, it added that I can even confidently say na I am one of the pool of speakers ng DBM, but kahit naman na specific lang siya for PFMCP, but they can actually tap me for other for other engagements, like providing discussions sa newly hires, o kaya naman sa mga study visits. So yon. So nasasabi ko yon every time that I do interviews sa promotion. So yon.
And now let's go naman to the angle of you being an Australia Award Scholar and Miss I, which sabi mo na-influence ka niya. How was it parang seeing her doing this in DBM and you also being part of the bureaucracy? How was it like working with her and getting to experience the program as a person who understands also the importance of doing the REEF and who also been in Australia?
Yan. Okay.
So, ito naman from the perspective of you being a scholar also, and then eventually seeing na, ito pala, ang may pakana pala, isa sa mga may pakana nito, nag-reap din for school for Australia Awards. So, how does it feel?
Cut lang po. Nag-iisip lang ako.
Ito yung additional pa question.
Oo nga eh, no?
Additional pa question.
Actually, kasi kahit siguro hindi naman ako scholar, pero knowing na si Eileen is there to see the PFMCP, na-sustain yung PFMCP, I'm sorry. Yun, seeing Eileen to be there for the PFMCP na para magtuloy-tuloy siya, even the change in administration. And at the end, to recognize all the people who helped her, no, in sustaining, in developing, and still in the rollout of the PFMCP. Nakakatuwa na nakaka-inspire in a way that in training, through her expertise, kumbaga, dun niya talaga ni-nourish yung, dun niya talaga in-apply, yung mga natutunan niya in order to see it through hanggang, yung magtuloy-tuloy, until now, magtuloy-tuloy pa din naman itong program na to. Nakaka-inspire kasi hindi naman kailangan ng sobrang bonggang REAP nga eh. But this program has reached many employees in the government na the goal is for us to have a common understanding of what public financial management is. And that's the goal. No? While they can actually have it in different venues, but from DBM itself, ang mag-o-offer nun, parang we're looking at na sana talaga may effect siya in how they do things in their agencies. Kasi kami as oversight, parang gusto namin makita talaga na may improvement din in how they do public finances. Parang nagme-make sense, parang hindi.
Feeling ko we need to, you can take a deep breath first, and then feeling ko ang gusto nilang marinig kasi yung, siguro kung ako yung sasagot yung, as an Australia Award Scholar myself, and then your feedback on the program and how you appreciate it. Kasi parang gusto na, ito yung, you are in the same department, but you have a deeper understanding on the REAP and its importance, and how do you see para a fellow alumni na doing a project na, nag-attend din ako, and I see the value. So parang how would you want to express your insight as a fellow Australia alumni scholar? Kasi for sure you understand, kayo meron kayong ibang language, meron kayong ibang experience that's a cut above the others na agad. Dahil,
So yun dun sa part na as a fellow Australian scholarship,
yeah, so,
ganyan.
And then you can start your statement there, I think, kasi we need very specific tidbits of audio. So pwede mo na simulan na as a fellow Australia or as a who also graduate. Pwede mong i-word like that, and then you can give the feedback that you have to the program. However it is, how it impacted you, how you see it, na kasi from the lens of someone who also graduated abroad and then doing the REAP, and then ito yung nangyari sa REAP. So parang how are you, yung perspective mo rin. Kasi, tama ba? Parang ganun, yung gusto nilang angle.
Teka. Nisip ko nga kung paano.
Feeling ko okay naman the previous answers that you said. Siguro kailangan lang laglan ng context ng mga listeners that you are also, kaya may deeper appreciation kasi you also graduated from Australia. Parang ganda. Na parang mailagay yung angle na yun. Na parang as a fellow alumni, ganyan. You can start with that.
Ang hirap na nung sumunod na question, Eileen, wala yun sa tanong.
Kasalanan ko
Gusto sabihin yung impact ng possible REAP mo. Kasi ako sinashare ko sa kanila, I started with, ang impact lang niya is within the division. I did not realize na later on, ang ripple effect pala siya doon sa
Well, actually, as a scholar, after Eileen, so
pwede po mas specific.
as an alumni, as Australia Awards alumni.
Sorry. Okay,
Sige po.
And take a deep breath.
Okay. So, as an Australia Awards alumni, so we always look for things that we can contribute to the department. No? Working in the Department of Budget and Management, our goal is to improve sana the how. Ay, sorry.
Yeah. Pero you're getting, yun na, nakuha na natin.
Sige.
Yan, yung ganun.
Yung parang ganon.
Making a different perspective.
Yung making a different perspective. Sorry. Ando pa rin ako sa feelers. Bumalik ako sa feelers, Aileen. Katanggal ko na yun before.
Okay.
So yun, okay.
No pressure. Hinga muna.
Yan. So, me as an fellow Australia Awards alumni, so, ulitin mo lang po natin. Ayun po. So, as an Australia Awards alumni, we look for things that we can improve on. No? Kaya we have the Re-Entry Action Plan to help the organization, in this case, the Department of Budget and Management, to achieve its goals. No? So, to be world-class in terms of public financial management. Through the program, through the PFMCP, it does not just help us in our work, no, as analysts, as budget and management analysts. It hindi lang kami yung magpa-participate, but it actually help us in our role or in our responsibility to provide technical assistance to our handled agencies. It's the program now, through that program, that we can actually strengthen yung aspect ng pagpaprovide ng technical assistance. No? Kasi as an analyst, no, as working din naman, nakikita ko na parang, nakikita ko na ang daming work. No? Ang dami naming kailangan, yung responsibility as an analyst, marami siyang kaakibat na trabaho na mag-release ng funds, mag-analyze, ganyan. Pero nandun talaga, isa rin talaga din the technical assistance. And the program the PFMCP help us strengthen that particular function. Na kapag hindi naman namin kaya, or say, ang gusto nila is more of a general muna na introduction on what public financial management is, we can actually already refer them to the program. They can attend that. And then if they have specific questions, it's the program or whoever facilitates, they will just gather it and then send it to us. So we can now focus more dun sa pag-address ng issues ng client agencies namin. So, kumbaga, doon sa effect ng PFMCP on our work, no, kung hindi man siya intention, but it actually strengthen talaga yung pag-provide ng technical assistance namin sa government agencies. And I believe yung ako, mayroon akong nakausap noon from the agency na they're really excited to enroll dun sa program. Kasi nga, mas marami ding insights din ang pumapasok, not just from the analysts, kasi the pool of speakers naman come from different offices, may mga directors din. So, nakaka-receive din sila ng different point of views on how to do things.
And so, how does, if kunyari wala dyan si Miss Angie, and what is your message to her, or what are the things that you admire, especially na you know the work that they also did behind the scenes to make this a success.
Yes.
And now it's being featured as one of the lead stories of Australia Awards. So any message or anything that you want to say to them?
Personal na to, no?
Yeah, personal.
Hala, Aileen, labas ka muna. Hindi, sige, okay lang na marinig niya. For me, I'm very thankful kay Aileen na tinake niya yung suggestion ni Director Roel that time to include me in one of the pool of speakers. Sabi naman niya sa akin, nagpapasalamat din naman siya na andali ko ring matap if kailangan niya ng speaker for the program. For me kasi, it's a continuing learning, no? While it is the module from the start, ini-enhance yan every now and then. So, continuous lang din yung pag-aaral ko and then the improvement that I need to apply then or to absorb. Na-inspire ako in a way dun sa natapos niya rin yung re-entry action plan and the effects that it has kumbaga na ulitin ko na lang, sorry. I got really inspired nung natapos niya yon and knowing the impact that it has to not just sa DBM but to other government agencies. No, yun nga, excited sila to enroll and then they would know na Miss Mickey, ikaw ba yung magiging resource speaker? Kasi kung ko siya na-handle ko sila before. So, hindi naman ako palagi, pero I can be, depende. Kasi nga, si Eileen, parang nagiging go-to niya ako in a way kapag kailangan niya ng speaker nga. So, yun. Very thankful for this opportunity. It has helped me in so many ways. And even right now, if I'm going to apply for another promotion or if I'm gonna apply for a promotion, still mailalagay ko pa rin na I'm part of the program as one of the resource speaker.
One last, I think I have here. Take a deep breath muna. Ayan. So now that we were able to zoom in within how it affected you, if you're gonna look macro, like sa DBM, what do you think is the impact of this program to the entirety of the bureaucracy or DBM as a whole, or sa hanggang Pilipinas levels, kung making a difference? How do you feel this program is making a difference in the lives of the Filipino or in the country?
Grabe pang malakasan pala, teka. Wait lang, may hahanapin lang po ako na.
Yun lang po yung last natin.
Okay. So, as we always say in our program, no, budget is really a powerful tool that the government can use to attain their socio-economic agenda. And the DBM's mandate is to promote the sound, efficient, and effective management and utilization of government resources. This is aimed to achieve the national economic goals, socio-economic goals, and whatever is in the targets, the goals in the medium term of the current administration. With this program, I hope that the discussions that have been made would improve how governments view their budgets, and hopefully that they can apply the PFM objectives that we have been reiterating every module, which is to spend within their means, to spend on the right priorities, know when to spend and when not to spend, and to achieve technical efficiency or spending with maximum results. So if the governments or if the public financial practitioners nationwide would be able to embody those objectives, we're hoping that the taxpayers' money, the government's resources that are available right now are spent on those things na makaka-achieve ng ating socio-economic goals, like reducing poverty, providing jobs, and ma-achieve yung goal natin in the long term na to have mapayapa, matatag, at maginhawang buhay for all the Filipino people. So, yun.
Yay! Bibi!
Ulitin ko ba? Sorry!
Thank you so much!
Body go.
Okay, so the intent po of this video for Australia Awards is to feature the reap of Miss Eileen, but in the lens na we want also the people that she's working with to also give parang your honest take on how the program really helped the department as a whole.
Nakakabwis. Char, joke lang. Yun yung honest take. Char, joke lang. Oo.
So, can you repeat po a bit? Para pa kay Mari. Bibiyos ko rin po. Para di sila mahirapan.
Sige.
Yeah, tapos sundan niyo lang po kung nasan po si
Okay, so talking to you.
So,
Konti pa.
Konti.
Para makarotate pa si...
Yan.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Ayan. So, we know naman basically the project na from the interview of Miss Eileen. But what's important right now is your perspective lang from the as one of the higher ups and directly working with her in making this possible. So there. And I know you have the questions naman.
Okay, sige, wait. So, tuloy-tuloy naman to. Pwede ako like breather per
Yes.
breather per question.
But before the first question, you can just add a little introduction about
Okay,
yourself,
sige.
about a little bit about what you do and your scope of responsibility.
Okay, sige. So, can I just say, parang I'm Assistant Secretary Diana Camacho. I handle the Advocacy Communications and Training Service at the DBM. Okay na yun. Okay, sige. Tapos pwede bang cut ulit? Ayan, sige.
Okay, we're ready.
Double checking lang.
Sige lang.
And then later, siguro before we transition to the next, I will just get a little parang snippets na nag-uusap kayo kunyari.
Sige, sure. Sure.
Super konti.
We need, We're good to go.
Rolling ka na?
Rolling.
Cute.
Ayan. So, good afternoon. So for the before we start with the questions, can you give us a little introduction about yourself and your current responsibilities and and what is your involvement with the project of Miss Eileen for BD?
I'm Diana Camacho. I'm Assistant Secretary. Wait lang, nerves lang. Sorry. Ha! Eileen! Sorry. Sige, I'm... Okay, sige. Anytime? Okay. I'm Diana Camacho. Sorry, wait. Ano ba, Eileen? Diana Camacho Mercado ba? O Diana Camacho lang? Okay. Sige. Okay, sige. I'm Attorney Diana Camacho Mercado. I'm the Assistant Secretary for the Advocacy Communications and Training Service of the DBM. And I work with Eileen. She's one of my chiefs in the Advocacy Communications and Training Service.
And what can you say about Eileen and her contribution to your department or organization through the Australia Awards REAP, which is her REAP is establishing sustainable pool of facilitators, resource speakers, and subject matter experts for the Public Financial Competency Program, or the PFMC.
So Eileen's REAP Reentry Action Plan has been very useful to the DBM, especially in terms of making the Public Financial Management Competency Program, or the PFMCP, more sustainable. One of the challenges in implementing the program is making sure that we have a ready set of speakers who are trained and good communicators. As you know, PFM, or Public Financial Management, is a very complex topic, and the resource speakers here from the DBM are accountants, budget specialists, so they are not teachers by profession. And to teach complex ideas, you need a special approach in doing that. So Eileen's Reentry Action Plan has been very useful, has been a good framework in ensuring that the PFMCP program is sustainable and can contribute meaningfully in our training agenda.
And how did the program improve the service delivery of DBM? How did it contribute to the professional growth of the RPs and speakers in the pool?
I think the program really helped the DBM service delivery by ensuring that the RPs, who, like I mentioned, are not teachers by profession, giving them the skills required to engage participants meaningfully and ensure that our complex budget reforms and the budget processes are, communicated effectively and in a way that the participants will understand. Sorry. Okay. Can I?
Sure.
Can I start my my answer over? Okay, wait lang. Okay. Sorry, can you ask the question again for momentum?
So how did the program improve the service delivery of DBM? How did it also contribute to the professional growth of the RPs and speakers in the program?
Okay. So the program helped the RPs. So the program helped. Sorry guys ha. Okay. Ha. Mainit nga. Totoo. Nasabi, oh my God. Buti na lang nag-sleeveless tayo ngayon. Oh my God. Sige. Ha. Sige, taga lang. Ha. Oh my God. Dito lang. Training by training. Okay. Sige. Yung talking points, sorry, just to make myself comfortable, no? Yung talking points ko for this particular thing, napunta dun sa first. So, parang yun tuloy, parang naubos ko lahat nung... naubos ko lahat dun sa first question. Yun tuloy.
Ang ganda ng first.
Ayun kasi, 1 and 2 yun eh. Yun nga eh. Kaya nahirapan tuloy ako ngayon. Past me, girl. Ayan, sige. So, okay. So, yeah. Sige. So, the program helped the DBM service delivery by ensuring that our trainers are trained. Sorry.
Maybe sukulit ako.
Ayan.
Para makarotate siya ng
Okay, sorry. Ayan.
Yeah. Girl, kita ka na.
Ay, sorry.
Para makarotate siya ng
Sige, okay na ba yung Okay. Okay. So the program helped DBM service delivery by training our resource speakers to teach complex topics. So as you know, PFM, or public financial management, is a really complex topic. So it's necessary, it takes a special approach to teach it well. And so through the Re-Entry Action Plan of Eileen, she has come up with ways to improve the communication skills and of our RPs, and give them the confidence to explain what they know about PFM.
How is it working with Eileen? What are the things? And it's not actually in the question, but it's something that Australia Awards also wanted to tackle because you work closely together. So how is it working with her and her team? And what are the things that you like about supporting this project?
So Eileen's team, the Capacity Development Division, is one of the more self-reliant, and I'd like to say that they are able to work by themselves. They're very self-reliant. Is not. I think self-reliance won't do it justice. I'll come to it, but they're one of the divisions that need the least direction because of Eileen's vision for capacity development. And so I really believe in what Eileen is doing through what she's learned through the Australia Awards Scholarship Program. And so that's why I actually require, sige. Ang ganda naman yung gusto kong sabihin. Yun nga eh. Yun lang eh. It's just the delivery, guys. Naiyak ka na. Oh, alam mo, Alin, wala akong pakialam na nandiyan kayo. It's the cameras, guys. Nahihirapan ako. Nahihirap eh.
Yeah.
Ano ba yung term? Ano ba yung Eileen, ano nga yung sinasabi ko? Hindi kayo, ikaw ko sinasabi ko na hindi kayo yung hindi self-reliant eh. Ano yung self-sufficient? Di ba yun? Tama ba yung term na self-sufficient? Ayun. Sige. Ulitin ko. Minimal supervision. Sige. Ano mo, tama ba yung self-reliant versus self-sufficient? Okay na ba yung self-reliant? Proactive?
Hindi.
So, okay na yung self-reliant. At saka ayoko na ulitin yun eh.
Ang ganda
Make it work na. Sorry. Pero ano ba yung last na ako nag-fumble? What was the last? Sorry, what was the last question?
How was it working and why, what made you really support the thrust of their department or of their team?
Sige, taga.
Pero okay na yung first part eh. Siguro
nga
more
eh.
on like, why are you a supporting force in the kasi it requires parang, they need support to be able to cascade and to do all of the things that they wanted. And you are that powerful force behind that supports the, sige, ko nyo lang yan and everything. So, what was the reason behind that?
Wala akong choice kasi. Char joke lang. Wala akong choice. Char joke lang. Sige. So, okay, sige. Eileen has a very good vision for the team, the Capacity Development Division, and it just so happens that it's also aligned with the DBM's reform agenda, also the Secretary's vision for a PFMI or a Public Financial Management Institute. And so everything is aligned, and I think it all stemmed from Eileen's learnings from the Australia Award Scholarship Program.
Do you have any message to her?
Ay, nako, Eileen, nakaka-inchar. Ay, nako. Never again, Eileen. Char, joke lang.
And then, how does it feel to be a part of this program in a grander scale if you look at it? Kasi it's creating a lot of impact also with everyone that's joining, the different departments being affected.
HR ka ba, Eileen? Di ba yung background mo, HR? Sige, nandito sa talking points ko eh. Sige, sana matandaan ko to. Alright, sige. Ha. Okay. What I admire with Eileen's work right now is that she's... sorry, last. Sige. What I admire most about Eileen's work is her dedication to making complex ideas more understandable to, sorry. Wala. Sige. So what I admire about Eileen's work is her dedication in making sure that complex ideas like budget reform are more accessible and sustainable for people. I believe her background is in HR, and she's found a way through her work in the Capacity Development Division and through her learnings in the Australia Awards Scholarship Program. She's found a way to make her background relevant to the DBM and our reform agenda. And on a personal note, I not only admire her passion for it, but also it's been really rewarding to be part of this journey that I've seen personally through her work that what happens when you invest in people. So I would like to congratulate, not just Eileen, but the Australia Award Scholarship Program for such meaningful impact in the DBM and our reform agenda.
Ganda!
Guys, writer talaga ako, hindi ako
Siya ang director ko.
Approve.
Siya director ko. Okay.
Approve naman daw po.
So basically,
Taba.
again,
Hindi naman.
the intent of the video is to feature the REAP or the Re-Entry Action Plan of Miss I, which is, and then ang bilin lang po sa amin ni Australia Awards is to be able to ask you yung effect of the training program on a macro sense sa buong DBM. Kasi parang there are a lot of attendees na to date kasi it was running na for like a decade na. And then she was able to, in a way, sustain it when it became her.
Eileen! Wala ko ng kodigo.
Ay.
Ano ulit yung binalik natin?
Yung feel from the heart.
Hindi. Ano ulit yung binalik mo dito?
Amalin yun, yung
Ano ulit yung nirip mo?
expansion of the pool of speakers for the PFM.
Got it. Okay, sige.
Ayan. So I'll start with, the first question is a little bit of introduction. So you can introduce yourself and share to us your responsibility and what you currently do. And then your involvement also with the project of Miss I, a public financial program.
Sure. Okay.
So I think we'll
Test. Hello.
Inaayos lang yung hair.
Okay, hindi kasi ako, virgin yan eh. Hindi ko yan ginagalaw.
Pwede pakicheck po kung okay po sa likod.
Perfect po.
Parang ganito siya.
Perfect.
Gosh, alam mo, kayo na lang. Oo. Upo lang ako ng straight. Kaya basta pasado kay Marga, okay na yan. Yan.
So you can look at me and then, so can you have a little introduction of yourself?
I'm Margot Salcedo. I'm Undersecretary at the Department of Budget and Management, and I handle advocacy, capacity development, economic affairs, and stakeholder relations. So with respect to Eileen, who is our division chief, she works under the service called the Advocacy, Communications, and Training Service, which specifically handles the capacity development arm of DBM.
And what can you say about Eileen and her contribution to your department through her Australia Awards REAP, which is establishing a sustainable pool of facilitators, resource speakers, and subject matter experts for the public financial program?
So one of the main programs for capacity development that we have is called the Public Financial Management Competency Program. And our goal really is to empower officers, employees, public servants all over the nation, different national government agencies, but under this administration, by instruction of Secretary Amena Pangandaman, we have also expanded this program to also cater to local government units. And so the project of Eileen has greatly helped because, of course, when you conduct a capacity development program, you will need resource persons. And we have been not only recruiting more resource persons, but also training experts to become the best resource persons that they can be, specifically on this very difficult topic, which is public financial management.
What made you like a full-on supporter of this project? Like, what really enrolled you to put your trust and really help move this project forward when you stepped in as the undersecretary?
Public financial management is very important. Sometimes people overlook capacity development, but it's very important because when you have a great goal, such as budget utilization, we need to see it from a macro level, which is how it affects the entire economy. And so I always say that it's not a small role that you play, which is why we have brought the program to the level of the local government units. We in the administration have the economic team in the administration. Ulitin ko. This administration has a medium-term fiscal framework, which includes the objective of hitting high growth rates. And I'm so happy to share that in the first year, 2022, we hit 7.6% GDP growth, which is the highest in the past 20 years. However, the following year, this slipped down by 2 points. And we were wondering why. And if you are an economist, you will know that there are many factors. Among them is government spending. And we were wondering why government spending was not being hit when we have a very efficient budget secretary who releases the budget in the first quarter of the year. And we realized that it's because of a lack of capacity development, not just on the level of national government agencies, but also of local government units. Because there has recently been a law, a Supreme Court ruling that was passed called the Mandanas-Garcia ruling, wherein we are now trying to do something called devolution. We are trying to empower local government units, but then at the same time, do they have the capacity to spend this bigger budget allocation to them? And so the role of the capacity development program, the Public Financial Management Competency Program, plays a big role. Teka, ulitin ko yun. And so, the Public Financial Management Competency Program plays a big role in empowering all of these local government units to cope with their new power that has been brought to them by devolution. They have an increased national tax allotment, meaning that their budget is greater, now by as much as 18%. How will the local government units spend this? How will the local government units spend this? Ang dami ko na sinabi, ewan ko paano niya ika-cut. But it plays a big role ultimately in improving our economy in general. Na-capture mo? Gusto mo ulitin ko? Shorter?
Hindi ko pa po natatanong, sinagot niya na. Kasi I was about to ask kasi how did the program, the macro level talaga of looking at it na we're not just, it's beyond training. The impact of the program is really affecting not just the DBM but the Philippines in general. So if you could give us a summary of what you said on how the program directly affects the country as a whole. Na, yan. Pero nasagot niyo na siya pero I'd like to siguro have another version of that.
Usually when you see capacity development, you think that it's just training, and sometimes people think it's boring. But as a matter of fact, it has a great role to play in nation building and in economic development. For example, we realized after hitting a monumental GDP growth rate of 7.6% in 2022, when our GDP growth rate was not as high in 2023, upon analysis, we realized that one of the factors was failure in budget utilization, not being able to maximize government spending. And how do we address that? By empowering our national government agency budget officers, but also those in the local government units on how to maximize their budgets. And so we expanded our Public Financial Management Capacity Program beyond just addressing NGAs to also addressing LGUs, and together, through a whole-of-government approach with capacity building as part of that program, we have been able to sustain our GDP growth levels, hitting our GDP targets, and hopefully ushering in this new era of our agenda for prosperity.
I love it. Wala akong masabi. And when
Ako ba-capture mo yung ganun ko?
Going back to Miss I, and this is kasi a feature also that highlights her achievements. What do you admire about her, or how does it feel to be one of the people who's taking the helm of this program, and if you have any message to Miss I?
Eileen is a very dynamic leader. She has a great personality to begin with. And I think the Australian Leadership Program helped hone this. What we really appreciate with her is that she's very dedicated. She has been all around the Philippines for this Public Financial Management Competency Program. including I was with her in Tawi-Tawi, all the way in the far ends of the Philippines. So she is a true asset to the DBM, and I hope that this will be just one of the programs that she does. She has a long career ahead of her, and that she's able to also not just empower her own team, but also share her knowledge with generations to come. Okay ba yun?
Just an additional from my end. Where are you seeing this program expanding pa? What is your hope for the department in the years to come, and what's the vision?
For the Public Financial Management Competency Program of DBM, I specifically remember one of my first conversations with Eileen, or maybe somebody told me that she had heard Eileen say that, ay hindi, teka, wag na lang, baka confidential pala. Okay, cut. Okay. Again, repeat. Take 2. The Public Financial Management Competency Program of DBM is a very, very important program. In fact, we are celebrating 10 years since it was started. But this time, after expanding it to cater not just to national government agencies, but also to LGUs, we are also currently developing a Public Financial Management Institute. This is one of the visions for DBM. It started because we have just relocated and relaunched our library, which I hope will also become the country's first public financial management center. And then we also aim to really develop research for public financial management, and then partner that with a capacity development arm. So we hope that the Public Financial Management Competency Program will develop into a hub for Asia for public financial management, wherein the Philippines can be a real example of best practices in PFM.
And lastly, if there's one word that you would describe, how do you feel so far with all of these achievements, wherein you are the leader of these innovations? How does it feel to be part of this great movement that you guys are doing with your department?
I have to mention our secretary, Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman. She is a very dynamic and visionary leader, and we're all very honored to be part of her team. She is the one who said, let's not work in silos. And so we're hoping to be able to bring this PFMCP to work with other agencies for a centralized public financial management institute. Aside from that, aside from it being very visionary, I think it's also very transformative. And hopefully through this program, we will not only hit our economic targets, but at the same time, we will also truly empower national government agency workers, local government employees, and just everyone in general as we hit our Bago Pilipinas and agenda. Teka, masyado nang rara. Cut mo lang yun.
That's the last one. Kasi, galing. Your perspective talaga doesn't have, basta it's very, achieve. So,
sige, ulitin ko na lang yun. Sige, ano ulit yung word? Word ba? Paano ba?
How would you, or how does it feel to be at the helm of this innovation in terms of like, yung perspective of doing things and really having focus and allotting time, effort in capacity building? How does it feel to be at the helm of that?
We are very blessed to have a dynamic and visionary secretary, Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman, and she has really been at the helm of all of this. She was the one who said, let's not work in silos, and as the instructions for devolution came to fore, we adapted and expanded our PFMCP to also cater not just to national government agencies, but also to LGUs. And we hope to also be able to move this forward and create the first ever Public Financial Management Institute that we envision to be truly transformative and empowering for not just people in government, but also for the next generations.
Okay.
Hindi siya happy kasi nag-buckle ako.
Actually, may curious question na lang po ako na. Is there a question that we haven't asked you
I don't know.
that is important between you and Aileen and dun sa program na nagawa?
Siguro yung sa role ng Australia. Gusto
Gusto
niyo?
share that po.
Sige, okay. Gusto mo ba ulitin ko yung last? Okay, sige. Bala ka na sa... Okay. Ano siya? Australian Government... Ano?
Australia Awards.
Australia Awards. Nandiyan ba si Eileen? Ano ka ba? Anong tawag dun sa award mo? Anong... Sino yung nagbigay?
Australia Government.
Okay, sige, game. Pasalamat naman tayo sa kanila. Okay. We're very grateful to the Australian government. Aside from Eileen, I understand that there are other graduates from DBM. So we hope that we can continue this relationship of empowering government employees and ulit.
Australia Awards na lang po. Australia Awards.
Sige, Australia Awards. Okay, sige. Australia Awards.
Yes, yun po yung...
I'm so confused. I can say naman awards, but ba't nagtatago na naman siya? Ang nagbigay, your beneficiary ka ng Australia Awards? Got it. Okay. Parang yung scholarship is under the Australia Awards.
The scholarship is under the Australian government. Australian government yung nagbigay, but the untitled po is Australia Awards Scholarship Program.
Got it. Okay, sige. So we're very grateful, ulit. We are very grateful to the Australia Awards Scholarship Program. I think it has been very beneficial, not just in empowering our government employees to become true leaders, but also in honing their skills. Ulit, wala ako. Bakit nga ba ako grateful? Hindi, kasi gusto ko sabihin kasi is na marami sila.
Yes.
Parang hindi lang siya. And hopefully this can continue.
The impact kasi.
Yeah.
They are representing a lot, different departments in the bureaucracy.
Yeah. Okay, sige, game. So we're very grateful to the Australia Awards Scholarship Program. It has benefited not only Eileen as a person, transforming her into a very dynamic leader, as well as other government employees who have taken on this program, but it has really benefited the nation in general, I think, through their development as great leaders. They have created programs, contributed to programs that ultimately help shape the nation.